For today, I'm going to talk about this math problem that I have here in my Word document. So this is not from me. This is from the YouTuber called Mario's Math Tutor. I'll give you the link where I got it at the end of the video. But basically, what I'm trying to do here, then the other YouTuber, is to show you step by step, like I write steps for everything. But I know for some other people try to solve this problem, they don't give you the step by step. They do it on whiteboard, like they write what to do in the next line, but they don't say what's step one, what's step three, what's step X, basically. So I'm trying to be a little bit different than other people showing this problem. So when we're trying to solve this kind of problem, like I said, we determine what is our goal here. It's just to give you some idea before we get into all the math, everything like that. So as I said, I solve for X basically. Right? Get X by itself. What are your observations? Like just look at the problem. If you just look at it, you just think, what could be easier to deal with, the left or the right side of the equation for this kind of problem? And so, as I said here, I can't do nothing on the right because there's not really much you could do with that three there. I mean, it's not going to make it easy, is what I'm trying to say. It's not going to be, if I divide by three, I could do that, but it's not going to be easier. Because again, in math, trying to when you go from step one to step two, for example, you're trying to go easier, trying to have the problem be more simple to deal with. And so, in this problem, sorry, is that okay? We can work on the left side. So you see here, it's kind of like nasty right now because we have log squared and log squared. We have logs on the left side, I should say. And so what we can do on the left side is, let me just make sure we can use log properties. So I don't expect people to know off the bat it's like log properties. That's gonna take some time to get used to, which is okay, but with practice it'll become easier. So the reason why I say log properties because, well, one thing, I have logarithms and I have this minus sign here. I think, okay, what is about logarithms? What do I know about logarithms? That might help me with this problem. So that's how I kind of thought of the problem on the left hand side to maybe simplify it. And so how I set it up here is that when I do log A over B, it's the same as log A minus log B. You don't, um, I wrote it this way because I think it's easier for people to understand, but other people, they write it differently, which is totally fine. But for me, how I thought of it was, okay, when I have a fraction here, I can write it like this, log A minus log B. And if you notice, this looks exactly like the left-hand side, and I'll show you how. So when I have these letters here, I can always replace it with what I had from the problem. So I'm trying to write this log A minus log B as this here. And another thing I forgot to mention, I didn't put the squares here in the bottom, like in the base here. It's because, how do I put this? It's because it doesn't matter what base the log is. It could be log 100, log 1,000. It's still the same property. It's just I don't put it because it's not really important at the moment. So in this sense, I'll say log. This would be log 2 here. I just don't put it there because it's not that important right now. Well, what I mean here is the base. The base doesn't really matter. It's what we're trying to simplify. Um, this minus, these logs and this minus, I'm trying to make it more clean or more easier to deal with. Okay, so now when I have a equal to x and b equal to x minus 1, the order um, does matter. So if somebody accidentally switched these a and b together, like I say a is this and b is x, a is x minus 1, that changes the equation a little bit. So the order does matter here. So what I always say, okay, I just follow, okay, I go log squared x. So x is a first. A is x. And then whatever is next to it is going to, whatever is left is going to be b. And so, okay, as I said here, what I did here, so if I show you, okay, right here, you see like, let's say log a minus log b is now going to be log x minus 1. So I'm just trying to say this is the same as this. Or in this sense, this here is going to be the same as a over b. Hold on. So what I'm saying, sorry, what I'm saying, without that minus sign, it's the same as this fraction. So we're trying to get to this fraction here. That's the sub goal here, or the what are the goals here? I'm just trying to make it simpler. So in this sense, I'm trying to prove to you guys why this be at the end will become this fraction here. We'll have a fraction on the left hand side with its log, x over x minus 1. And so, and again, always go back to the original problem, because a lot of times with this, you can get lost with something like, where is it? Something like this, right? Like if you're trying to simplify the equation, okay, x over x minus 1 is a log, right? You can have it like this, but the problem is you need the actual problem, the squared part. So what I would say, go back and then try to make sure you're following the problem. And so we have this now becoming log squared x over x minus 1. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, please uh, let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer them as best I can. And so, okay, so now I have it like this, um, which is great because now I can do something with it. The reason why I say that is because now, if you forget the log for 1 second, right? If you forget the log, if you just cover the log squared for a second, it looks a little bit easier to deal with, right? That fraction, and it's over 3. Um, that looks a little bit easier to deal with, but the problem is you don't want to forget about the log squared. So that's why I say it's kind of more simpler to look at it. I hope that was clear. But let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this step here. The log squared x over x minus 1 equals 3. So now, what I would do now is I would cancel the log, because the problem is we still have the log there. And again, our goal here is to get x by itself. So we have to get rid of the log somehow. So now I would cancel the log with an exponent. If the, if the if this step doesn't make any sense, that's okay. Some other people, if I'm not mistaken, there's other ways of handling this. From my experience with these kind of problems, but um, I always think of the properties of logs, like logs and exponents that cancel each other out because they undo each other. It's kind of like square roots and exponents. So if I have a square root of 5 and I square it, it becomes a number. So that kind of undoes, it gets rid of the square root, is what I mean. And so for this, I'm saying base to the power, to this power equals number. So this log base number is a power. So like this, it's saying 2 to the power of log squared x over x minus 1 equal 2 to the third. Because I have to do it on both, make sure you do it on both sides. Because if you do it for one side, you have to do it on the right side. To give everybody happy and fair. Think of it, if I do it, like if I give someone, some french fries for this person on the left, I also have to give the person on the right. Because it's like, just to keep people happy. If there's two people, on the left and the right hand side. Think of like people, like this person on the left, this is the person on the right, and so you're trying to keep them both happy. So if one thing I noticed is food. Food keeps people happy, right? If I give somebody a French fry, give this person on the left French fry, I have to give the person on the right also another French fry to keep everybody happy. And so when I do 2 to the log squared, log base 2, sorry, 2 to the log base 2, that should cancel out as I set it up here. So make sure just pay attention to the base because the base and this base, the log base and the power here, the 2 here, the base here has to cancel. They have to be the same, or this one. And so when that cancels out, again, as I said, we have a number. So now I do some algebra. I get rid of the numerator and the right side. Some people do it a different way to solve this problem now. They do maybe cross multiplication, which is also fine too. But this is one way I think we did it would be great to do. If you do it a different way, that's fine, but you should get the same answer that I got in the bottom. And so, I get this here, I multiply everything to the right, times x minus 1 times x minus 1. I think I should. So I kind of did it like this. I kind of did the distributive property for this part here. Um, Forgive me, like I can't really do all the steps. Like I try, but it's not gonna be 100%. I hope you guys, hopefully, uh, hopefully something we can, something that people can understand. Hopefully, I understand like math is not easy for people. That's totally fine. But I just hope, you know, that you know how I went from here to here. If not, that's okay. Ask me questions. That's totally fine. So I did this math here. I did this here, and I want to get x by itself. Um, going back to algebra again. So again, as I said, start x on both sides. I showed it here as well. Uh, Hopefully this doesn't confuse you. This is just showing what I did. When I subtract x on both sides. Um, so that's what I did. Like x minus x, which is 0. 8x minus x is 7x. So in the end, I should get this. 0 equals 7x minus 8. And so now, oops, sorry. So now, what you should see here is that, I'm just doing some algebra over here. Sorry again. Sorry about that. And so when you get to this step, I just divide by 7 on both sides. And the answer should be 8 over 7. So again, this is the answer. So that's it. You just solve the problem. So I hope this is clear. I hope this is a little bit different than what you've seen other YouTube videos. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Anything about my steps, something didn't make sense or I wasn't clear enough, please let me know. But again, with math, it just takes practice. You have to actually sit down and do the problem. It takes practice. And don't give up. It's gonna take it one step at a time. Well, thank you guys. Have a nice night. Take care. Stay tuned for more. Bye bye.